It's about that time, fellas. Welcome back to Neutral Zone Reaction. It's week 7. We had a jam-packed week of football. How you doing, Brady?
I'm doing well. How are we doing, Jules?
We're fighting a cold, but we're fighting through it. It
Yeah,
is
if you
what
can
it
tell by
is.
that background, his ego is bigger than the screen right now. So,
How about them
uh,
Vols? We're gonna talk a little bit today about college football. It is halfway through the season, but we're also gonna go over some of the week 6 takeaways, week 7 predictions. We've got Vic on for Vic's picks today. Say what's up.
What's up, man?
All right, good to see you. So we've got Vic here today. We're going to be doing some starts and sits for fantasy football. And yeah, that's going to be the show. You ready, Brady? You want to start us
I'm
off?
ready. Yeah. So my biggest takeaway from week 6, I got two. I got a few really big ones. I'm gonna start though. I said this a couple weeks ago, and you're like, nah, that's crazy. But it's turned to a reality. Cliff and Kyler's seats are scorching right now. Cardinals look bad. Kyler had a 21.8 quarterback rating last week. Offense put up 3 points the whole game. I mean, they looked bad.
Yeah, they really did. I'm gonna say the Cardinals are still an up in the air team.
I
They
think they're,
could
they're
be
I think they're bad, dude.
they
They
could
lost
be
to a
totally different
bad
with
Seattle team.
Hopkins.
What?
They could be totally different come DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay, but they had Marquise Brown, who's also a good receiver. Like the the Seahawks gave up 45 points to the Detroit Lions, and then they held the Cardinals to 3. Like, just think
I
about that
I
for a
mean, I
sec.
see
That's
what you're saying,
concerning.
but at the same time,
They're bad.
The NFC West has been complete garbage this year.
Yeah, and the Cardinals have been complete garbage this year.
I think it's still
Cliff,
to be
Cliff
seen.
feels like a college coach that couldn't win with Mahomes in college,
Trust me,
and Kyler's meh. Like,
I agree with
he's
you.
not
I love seeing the
sustainable enough to
Cardinals
make
be
plays. He makes
bad.
flashy plays, but he can't sustain drives.
I like seeing the Cardinals be bad because I can rub it in Luke's face, who craps on the Bears all day.
He
But
has a right to crap on the Bears.
I know.
That's not what we're talking about.
But yeah, the Cardinals have been really bad. I don't think we can really judge any team in the NFC West at this point because we thought the Niners were honestly not that awful and they get easily beaten by the Falcons. And then you've got the Rams. Like, it took them a whole half to figure out how to play football against Carolina. I mean, I thought about wearing the Jalen Ramsey Florida State jersey today, but the Rams didn't do enough to earn that.
Yeah, you also had to wear your Tennessee shirt, but
I did have
all
to
right,
wear
what's
the
your biggest
Tennessee
takeaway?
jersey. Well, about the Rams were really bad. The Cardinals were really bad. But you know who is really good that I still cannot believe is the guys on the screen right now, the New York Giants. How are they doing this? They
I don't
keep
know
getting
how the
away
Giants
with
are
it.
good. They have no receivers, a limited quarterback, a bad O line, and they win. Why can't the Bears do this? I don't understand. It can't be that hard. I
I
don't know.
just I
Brian
just don't
Dable
get
is
it.
literally like Santa for the city of New York. He just needs a whiter beard.
Oh, we need a snow game in the Meadowlands this year.
That'd be
Can
golden.
you
The
could
Giants would
you
win 59
imagine
nothing.
Saquon running for like 36 carries for 266 yards and Brian Dable is, running on the field just covered in
He'd be
snow.
wearing a
Here comes
Santa hat,
Santa
dude. He'd be
Claus.
going off. The fans would he would crowd surf by the time the game's over. Like, it'd be
Oh
great.
my goodness. Brian Dable crowd surfing. Could you
It'd be
imagine?
good. Okay, I'm gonna go on the flip side of your take. Kind of realize this. The Packers might be bad.
the Packers might be bad. I
I
love
haven't
to
seen
hear
that
it.
in a while, and I'm very happy to say it. They've looked bad in the last 3 weeks. They almost lost to Bailey Zappi in his first start at home. They got routed by the Giants in the second half, and they just got routed by the Jets, who couldn't put together an offense.
Uh-huh.
Rodgers doesn't look comfortable. LaFleur looks like his head is spinning. Defense is not what it is, and the special teams came back for revenge from that 49ers playoff game.
I'm going to tell you something that I hate to say, but RELAX. Relax.
I am relaxing.
As Rodgers once said, the Packers aren't going anywhere. They're going to make the playoffs easily.
Of course, they're going to
Everyone
make the
else in the
playoffs, but they're
NFC
not
is
that
so
dominant
terrible.
force they have been.
Every team in the NFC is so awful that the Packers are going to find a way to sneak in there and probably lose in the first round again. But I'm not. even though they've looked horrible, they'll just I know they'll figure it out. Unfortunately,
life of a
as much
Bears
as I
fan.
hate to say it.
All right. What else do you notice from week 2? Week 6. Week 2.
Well, speaking of the Jets, as much as the Packers looked bad, the Jets did look kind of good. And I'm saying I'm feeling the sauce. Sauce
That was our
Gardner.
pick for Rookie of the Year.
That was my pick for defensive rookie.
Was
it?
Our picks.
Wait, no. Didn't we pick Thibodeau?
No, we both picked Sauce.
Do we both? Huh. Okay, maybe we did. I don't know. I'll have to rewatch that video to see. But yeah, he's been insane. I just can't believe how quick it's been. I mean, he came out of college and boom, he's already locking up NFL receivers. It's like he's not a rookie at all. The dude's
he doesn't look like a rookie. He looks like a 4-year pro in his prime right now.
Absolutely.
As a lockdown corner. He's a stud.
So yeah, I'm getting lost in the sauce. I think the Jets have a shot to make the playoffs solely because of him.
Yeah, I think another team that's got a shot to make the playoffs right now in that weak NFC is the Falcons.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
The Falcons are good, bro. Like, Marcus Mariota won NFC Offensive Player of the Week this week, which doesn't matter. But the Falcons are 3-1 in their last 4 games. The only loss in that stretch was that Bucs game where, like, Grady Jarrett tapped Tom Brady down too hard. I mean, like, dude, the Falcons have been good. They just creamed the 49ers.
We'll see how the Falcons end up doing a little later in the season when they face better opponents. We actually have the Falcons-Bengals game as one of our VIX Picks games this week. So we'll get to that in just a second. My final takeaway from week 6 is the Vikings are really a confusing team. They're 5-1 right now, so they're on pace to get to that NFC Championship like I had them going. But
the Vikings have played one good team. They got shut out.
But yeah, they really haven't impressed. We have friends who are Vikings fans that are just talking like they're terrible the whole game, and then they pull out a win. So
yeah.
I don't know. They're still confusing. I think they'll hold it. Considering the NFC is so terrible, you can guarantee. I would almost guarantee that they'll make it out of the North in the playoffs for now, and they have a tiebreaker over the Packers at the moment. So
yeah. I like the Vikings right now. I think they're the best team in the North, which I don't think it's saying that much, but they are.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, let's get right into VIX Picks. That's what the people want to see. So here we are. It's time for VIX Picks. Welcome back. It's been a couple weeks.
My pleasure to be back, gentlemen.
Yes, it's great to have you. Last time. What were you saying?
You go.
I was just going to say, last time we all picked different from you, and it was kind of I don't remember if it was either a full split or one of us. I think you won on both of the toss-up games.
I think you did win. Yeah.
Maybe the guy knows what he's talking about.
Actually, I should have won. You made a comment, though, Jules, about the Packers still making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
If Minnesota wins their division, and we have Philadelphia, the Giants, and Dallas, they could easily make the playoffs. How does the Green Bay do it?
I don't think the Giants and Dallas will. Well, even if the Giants and Dallas both make it, there's still one more spot because the 17 playoff.
Yeah, but what about the Falcons?
Not so fast.
No, the NFC is so weak. I think the Packers will sneak into the wild card.
Yeah.
I forgot that there were 7. I was thinking 6.
My hope is if the Packers sneak into the wild card, I hope they play the Eagles or something just gets smacked. But we'll see.
Well, the one thing we know for sure is our favorite Chicago Bears
will not be
are not
partaking
going to
in
be
the
anywhere near
playoffs.
that.
They're so bad. Oh, it's like comically. They're like comically bad.
Yeah. And
They're literally the bad news Bears.
They really are. At least I have my Vols, or else this season would just be a wash.
Yeah, I don't have the Vols.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right,
I won't even get into that one.
Let's get into our first game. Thursday night football
I have
tomorrow
been
night.
studying. I've been doing that the whole season. I'm below 500. So today, instead of giving you my analysis, I took 4 of the games that you gave me. 2 of them I flipped the coin. The other 2 I analyzed for hours and hours. And I will give you my results.
I really hope the ones you flipped a coin win.
I'm not going to tell you which is which yet, though.
I'm betting on the
Okay.
ones you flip the coin.
First game was New Orleans and Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I chose Arizona.
Okay,
Even what you said is true. Murray has been not that good this year. He has the potential to change the game in a moment, the way he did in that first game against Las Vegas. The next game you gave me.
Well, hold up. Brady, what do you think about that game?
I think the Cardinals are a bum team with talented players, and I think the Saints win.
You think the Saints win?
Yeah.
I'm going with Vic on this game, actually.
I was right.
I've got the Cardinals because the Saints are so injured right now. And
Yeah, but
I
they
don't know.
have
I feel like the Cardinals are due for a win, for something. I'm not convinced by anything they've showed me so far. It's just a gut feeling that I think they could pull it out at home, honestly.
I remember your last gut feeling on that Stephon Diggs touchdown in the playoff game.
Oh, thanks. Thanks
Put
for
the rest of your
reminding
account
me.
on there.
Okay.
That
The
was
next
a good. That was a fun text string to get.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
All right,
The
let's
next
continue.
game is Falcons at the Bengals. That's why I brought up the Falcons earlier. We'll go to Brady first. What do you think, Mr. Falcons are making the playoffs?
It's one of my bold. That's my first thing I got written down on my bold takes of Week 7. The Falcons upset the Bengals.
Ooh.
I mean, the Bengals are good, but they barely beat the Saints. And you just trashed on the Saints for fun, I guess. But the Falcons are talented. They're quick. They're exciting. They can run the ball. They got a good coach. And they're rolling right now. I think they win this game.
Okay, well, I think the Bengals are going to win
Okay, well,
because I think
They're
the
usually
Falcons are frauds.
Yeah.
And I think the Bengals are not frauds. I think the Bengals have a good team, and they're just going to keep up the momentum. I don't think the Falcons are going to lose by much, but I've probably got the Bengals by a field goal or 4 or 5 points. Nothing crazy, though. It'll be a close game, but I've got Cincinnati. What you think, Vic?
You and I are agreeing today so far, Mr. Jules. I keep thinking of Mario Moretti, the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Even a number 1 draft choice, he never really made it. Now he's a star. I don't think he's going to continue. And Burrows is a great quarterback.
Yes, he sure is.
And Cincinnati is my choice.
Okay. So we're going to be 2-0 to start, right?
If you say so.
I'm
right, then-
going against Jules right here, so I feel pretty good.
The next game is the Jets at the Broncos. The thriving Jets against the not thriving Broncos. But it's not on prime time. So
Jets.
that's 2 weeks in a row we've done that. Or I did when you were gone last week. I ended up doing the Jets chant when I had them beating the Packers.
We love the Jets.
You picked the Jets over the Packers. Very good.
I picked the Steelers over the Buccaneers last week, Vic.
Well, you got to bet your money then.
I know, I'm on a roll.
Well, I chose here Denver. They're
Okay.
at home. I can't believe that Russell Wilson is now washed out. I think his coach might not be there much longer.
Mm-hmm.
Just 1 year and out. But I think Denver is going to win that game.
Okay. I'm going to have to didisagree with you and pick the Jets as well with Brady.
Okay.
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Go.
They are going to roll.
Well,
The
if they
Broncos
play as
will
well
beat
as
the
you guys did the
Broncos.
cheers, I'm going to win.
the The Jets are looking good. Have you seen
They
them?
are, yeah.
The Jets play with energy and excitement, which the Broncos have none of.
You're right. But let's ride.
But we always say the quarterback is the most important position.
Yeah, and neither quarterback
He is a great quarterback.
Vic, quick question. What do you think is the second most important position then?
I would say a linebacker or a good
What about
edge
on
rusher.
offense?
On offense.
This one's
A
for you,
good
Brady.
wide outs.
Wide, yeah, not the center.
Who said the center?
Brady.
That was just for my team personally. That doesn't have to do with every single football team.
Oh, okay, bud. So after the Jets Broncos, the last pick we have this week is Steelers at the Dolphins. Is it Sunday night or Monday night football?
It's Sunday night.
That's a good
Sunday
game.
night. Primetime
It's
game,
by
big
a mil.
game.
Okay, here, this is easy for me. Who is the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh going to be?
Mason
Either
Rudolph.
think it's
Trubisky or
Trubisky.
Pickett.
I got money
I
on
think-
Rudolph.
I thought he was hurt.
He got hurt, but now he's practicing again.
He is?
Yeah, Kenny Pickett
Okay,
is.
well, I didn't read that either. I still would pick Miami, even if he plays. And Tua is going to play Monday night. They miss him. And Pittsburgh really is not a good team. So my money for the Sunday night game is Miami.
Okay. Brady, what do you think?
I got Fins by a mil. Two is going to light it up. He's not going to be touched. And, yeah, I think Mitch throws it 50 times for 200 yards and puts up like 12 points.
Oh, boy.
So who did you pick? Miami?
Oh, Fins up, yeah.
Okay.
I took
And
the
you, Mr.
Steelers.
Jules?
I took the Steelers.
He knows he's wrong already.
You
It's so
can tell
cute.
that.
He tries so hard.
You were doing well at the beginning.
was.
I just have a feeling that it's gonna be another one of these
He's doing
defensive
that.
games.
He's so anxious. He knows he's wrong. He's just trying not to embarrass himself. Okay, what's the next stop? Okay, what's next?
I really think the Steelers are not that horrible.
They're not that horrible, so they're going to beat a great Dolphins team.
The Dolphins are a
You
good
claimed
team.
at the beginning of the year we're the most exciting team in the NFL.
They were, but now they don't have. I don't even know if Tua's gonna play.
Who was playing?
It's just-
It's said last week.
Obviously, the Dolphins have a better roster, but something deep down is just telling me to ride with the Steelers 2 weeks in a row. So that's
Like
what
how
I'm
you
gonna
wrote
do.
that Stephon Diggs touchdown in the playoffs for like your whole bank account.
Hmm?
Like how you wrote on that Stephon Diggs playoff touchdown for the rest
Oh,
of
you're really digging that bet this week.
I had a good time with
That
it.
was a year and a half. That was like 2 years ago, Brady.
I know. It must have been
Simmer
bad.
down.
Also, Stephon Diggs has been popping off for me in fantasy, so kind
Of course he has.
you know, feeling good about it.
All right, thanks, Vic. We'll see
You're
you
welcome.
next
My
week.
pleasure, guys. And
Thank you, Vic.
Till next
Wait,
Pleasure.
which was the coin toss pick? Or do we not
Coin
find that out
toss.
until later?
It was
no,
definitely the
those were
Saints game.
the NFL games. With the two NFL teams. Or what? Arizona, New Orleans,
Called it.
Yep.
and Atlanta, Cincinnati.
Oh, you flipped a coin on that one. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. All righty, we'll see you later.
Goodbye.
All right. Pleasure,
Bye-bye.
Vic.
So that was Vic's picks. Let's talk about let's get right into this week in Vegas, actually,
For sure.
as we're on the topic of last week's
I would
game,
love to
or
start with
this
this week in
coming week's game.
Vegas.
I've now caught up to you in wins after you took a week off.
Oh, yeah.
Still have more losses than you, but it is what it is.
Shocker.
You'll accumulate more losses this week.
I'm going to start it off with a quick Jets.
Jets.
Plus 1.5 against the sorry, who do they play? The sorry Broncos. I don't know. It's not that hard.
I
think the
agree.
Jets are
I've got
gonna
the
win this
Jets
game
also.
The Jets are going to win this game by 10 points. The Broncos aren't going to. I don't think the Broncos are going to score a touchdown this week.
Oh, that's a hot take.
That's my hot take of the week.
In Denver, really? I mean, the Jets'
Yeah.
defense isn't that good.
The Broncos scored 1 touchdown in 2 weeks.
Wow.
The Jets defense flies around. They held Rodgers to 10. I don't know what they think Russ on one arm and -1 coaches is going to do. Nathaniel
That's
Hackett looks like
surprising, though.
Nathaniel Hackett looks like an alien, and he coaches worse than an alien. So I don't know how the Broncos can win. I don't see how the Broncos can win this game unless
I don't
Zach
either.
Wilson literally throws 4 picks. Which
The only way I see they could win this game possibly is by it not being a primetime game. Maybe something will come out of that roster. I really have no idea.
I think the Jets win this game by at least like 6 points. I think this is a terrible line. I think Vegas stayed up too late one night and they made this line. I don't really know what happened, but
I won't be
I don't
surprised. I won't be surprised if by Sunday the line has gone to the Jets.
I would not be shocked
they'll
if it was
be
like
favored.
Jets -1 by Sunday or something like that. All right, Jules, what are you thinking? Okay, he's drinking water. We'll be back momentarily.
This team is 6-0 against the spread through 6 weeks.
And they're gonna win outright against the Bengals this week. Oh yeah, baby.
The Falcons plus 6.5.
They're
gonna
up.
cover. They're probably not gonna win, but they're gonna cover because that's just what they do. They're a good as our last guest host says. Good teams win. Great teams cover. The Falcons are a great team.
Wasn't your last guest host like historically the worst better in like history?
Absolutely, and I hope he's still watching because he said a few things in the chat
Yeah.
earlier. I hope he's still on, Mr. Santucci.
As long as the effort's there.
Yeah. Do you have the Falcons also?
I do not actually.
Really? Okay.
I have
Plus
a line
6.5. That's good value for your considering you thought they'd win.
I know they would. I know they'll win. I don't see the whole think issue here. My next pick is I got the Saints plus 1.5 against the Cardinals. The Cardinals don't score. The Saints kind of score. And the Saints are going to win the game.
That's a little bit of a toss-up game for me, so I wanted to stay away from it personally.
Okay, what's your next pick?
My next pick, my third and final pick, I already said I think they'll win, but it's the Steelers plus 7 because that's just too many points.
Too many points. Do you know how easy it is to score a touchdown in the NFL? The Dolphins do it like every 3 minutes with 2.
Steelers are going to play in a close game with them.
Why?
They just will. It's just a
No,
gut
they
feeling.
won't.
It's just the Steelers'
No, they
defense has
won't.
been the
You can't have
Steelers'
a gut
defense.
feeling and assume the outcome of an NFL game. That's delusional.
Steelers are going to stay in that game.
No, they're not. They have Mitch. This is how the game is going to go, okay? They're going to hand it to Najee. He's going to get stuffed for 1 yard. They're going to have 2nd and 9. Mitch is going to drop back, panic, throw it away. Then they'll have like a 3rd and 9. Matt Canada is going to call a little tight end reverse pass, and they'll get 2 yards, and then they'll punt. They'll do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, they'll do that probably 5 of their 10 drives, but they'll make the Dolphins do that 5 of their 10 drives too, and then the
Fins are going to roll them.
It'll be like 21
you think there's going to be a touchdown game? Are you crazy?
No, I don't think.
Look at the coaching side. Look at the talent. Look at the quarterbacks. Look at the positions. Look at the play calling. Look at everything in this game, and tell me that it's going to be close with a straight face.
Yeah, aside from Tyreek Hill, there's
Oh
not
God,
a whole lot of offense in that game.
You're crazy. You think this is going to be a close game? I mean, unless Tua.
Oh my God, it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a close game.
Unless you think Tua's going to get hurt at the end, they have like Jalen Waddle play quarterback. I don't see how this is going to be close.
I think it'll be a close game.
This is by a mill. This is crazy, Jules. You are delusional.
Okay. There it is. The weekly you are delusional.
You are delusional. You prove it to me every single week. Every week. You're so consistent. Almost like your losses and your bets. Okay. My next pick for this week in Vegas, right on that screen, is New York Giants plus 3, baby. They are against the 2-4 Jaguars, and they are getting a field goal in points.
Wait, they're plus 3?
They're plus 3 against the Jaguars.
Okay, that's a good pick.
Thank you. I'm like your pick because you're crazy. But Saquon's going to stiff arm the Jaguars, and they're going to win by like 10. I mean, like, yeah, big New York Santa Claus.
Can you believe if the Giants were 6-1?
I mean, I think it's more likely than Jaguars winning a football game, yeah.
But if you looked at this at the start of the season and saw, yeah, the New York Giants are 6-1 and the Jets are 6-2, if that happens also. Can you imagine? That would be crazy.
Yeah, New York's going to explode.
Yeah,
Good thing
just
the
wait
Bills
till
are
the
on bye.
Yankees. Just wait till the Yankees lose, though. Then it'll really explode.
Yeah, good thing the Bills are on bye this week. Whew.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a lot of our NFL stuff. Do you have any fantasy start and sits? I know you wanted to get some of that in there this week.
I have one fantasy guy who is the biggest sleeper that nobody talks about. Nobody knows his name. Nobody knows what he looks like. I don't even know if people know what team he's on.
Okay.
Josh Reynolds.
He's on the Detroit Lions, number
wide
8.
receiver 2. Has gotten 15-plus points his last 3 weeks. He is a stud. He is currently my wide receiver 1 because Stephon Diggs is on a bye, and he is going to pop off. He is a must-start for the next 12 weeks.
Must start. Oh, Brady. Come on now.
He is a must-start at flex. He's not a must-start, but if you need a receiver, you need a flex, go look at Josh Reynolds and go tell me he's not a beast. He's got 8+ targets his last 3 games, with Amon-Ra even for some of those games. I don't know. It's not that hard. He's going to get more targets when defense is zoning on Amon-Ra. He's a tank, bro.
I think that's a stretch. I think he's going to have a solid 7.3 points. And that'll be it.
He's delusional. Oh my god.
Oh, give me a break. Anyone else watching this probably doesn't think Josh Reynolds is a must start this week.
Hey. Around school, I hyped up Josh Reynolds at school, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that guy's a stud." I don't know. I'm just saying, it's a common theme here in Illinois, Jules. I don't know what you're drinking in Tennessee or whatever you're doing, but
Whoa, I'm 20 years old, buddy. That's illegal.
Yeah. Because you believe, okay. Because you didn't do any of that after Tennessee's big win. Okay.
Never. How could I? What would you say is your number one sit for the week?
Number one sit for the week? I didn't do a sit for the week. I don't know.
You said starts and sits.
I would sit Josh Allen. He's on a bye.
Oh, good analysis there. I'm going to say Cortland Sutton is my number one sit for the week. Sauce is going to lock him up.
Jets. You love the Jets.
We're just so riding the.
I got it. My number one sit for this week.
Yeah.
Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, he's horrible. Great analysis once again. I'm going to say my 2 other sits real quick are Brian Robinson, the gunshot wound survivor himself. I think they play the Packers, right?
Oh,
I think the Packers were so bad against the run last week that that's going to be their biggest number one adjustment. The Commanders have their backup quarterback in, so they're going to be running it a lot. But I think if you're the Packers, you just stack the box every single play. They locked up not the Packers. Commanders had a good run defense.
Really quick.
What?
If you are thinking of starting anyone on the Bears offense, do not. Bill Belichick feasts on young quarterbacks. Fields is not a quick decision maker. The Bears offense is over-under for points is 3.5 on Monday night. They're not going to score. They're not going to move the ball. They probably won't complete It's going to be ugly.
So your sits comprise of the Chicago Bears.
If you're thinking about starting Monty, he's not going to get a touchdown. He's not going to get a lot of yards. I'm sorry. I don't know how many touches he's going to get because they got Khalil Herbert balling. If you're going to start Donald Mooney, just don't. He'll get you 5 catches or 40 yards. He'll get 9 points.
No, probably less.
Play. If you have Equinemius St. Brown on your team, you should not have Equinemius St. Brown on your team.
Whoa.
Pokemon on your team, you should have.
What if it's like an 18-man? Is he
give me your last bench slot? I don't care. Don't start him.
Okay, what's your
Bears offense will literally score 3 points this week. Do not start anyone on their offense.
What's a few of your starts for the week?
I already gave you my start for the week.
Oh, you just had 1 start and no sits?
Okay, I'll make
great pre-podcast work from our co-host Brady Hannon.
I didn't know we were doing
Round
this.
Of applause.
The script doesn't. We don't have fantasy football on the script.
You said starts and sits.
I said college football biggest take / fantasy football.
I have the document up. It says, well, it used to. You said, yeah, it says / fantasy football starts and sits.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll go into my start and sit real quick.
You wrote all my start.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say Dameon Pierce. Kenneth Walker and Chris Godwin are my 3 starts.
I mean, I already have Damian Pierce and Kenneth Walker starting for me this week. They're about to.
Yeah,
pop
they're
off.
both locks for playing well. And then Godwin's been targeted a lot lately. He'll probably get the ball a few times. 8 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. It's a pretty fair line, right?
Who did the Bucks play this week?
Someone bad because they're favored by a lot. I think the Panthers.
Oh yeah. No,
Yes, the
do the
Bucks
same
are
thing
favored by 10.5 at the Panthers.
The Bucks do the same thing every time they play the Panthers. It's like 6-3 at halftime.
And then they
And then
blow
the
them out
third
of
quarter
the
rolls around and they score like 3 touchdowns and they win like 27-10.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing every time those two teams play.
Yeah.
It'll be close and low scoring at halftime. Then the Bucks roll in the third quarter and Tom Brady takes a nap in the fourth.
I totally agree with you. All right. Well, let's get to our college football midway of the season breakdown because it's been very, very exciting. As you can see on the screen,
I'm actively
we stormed
cringing
the
right
field. We took the goalpost down. We beat Bama. It was amazing. What are your thoughts on? Do you think this Tennessee team is playoff worthy? And do you think we'll stick around there? Because I think we're back.
now. Yeah, I think Tennessee's a good team. I think they got an NFL quarterback in Hendon Hooker.
Himden Hooker.
I think the Bears should look into him if Fields doesn't pan out after this year.
We really should.
Because yeah, Hendon Hooker's a stud. Bryce Young's also a stud. Both defenses suck. Or at least sucked for that game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Our
I think-
defense. Well, continue.
Okay, really quick here. I think the playoffs this year are going to be very interesting. Because think about this. Bama is pissed. They're not losing until potentially the final, the SEC championship game,
SEC
right?
championship.
Say they win and they beat Georgia in that game, right? Wait, Georgia and Tennessee are in the same thing.
Yes,
right?
we're in the East together.
So who is the tiebreaker in that?
If Georgia, the winner of if Georgia and Tennessee both win out, whoever wins the Georgia Tennessee game in November
They
goes
play
to
each
the
other.
SEC championship game.
Okay, just let's say for sake of argument, Georgia wins that game. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee doesn't play in the SEC championship. There's a one-loss Tennessee that beat Bama and lost close to Georgia.
I think if Bama beats Georgia, you could see 3 SEC teams in the playoff.
That's what I'm getting to. Because if you have 3 one-loss SEC teams, they all deserve to be in the playoffs. The winner of Michigan, Ohio State deserves to be in the playoffs.
Exactly. And then everyone else sucks.
But hear me out. We both thought USC was going to be the 4th seed, right?
Yeah.
What if USC rolls the rest of the way, then they beat Utah in the Pac-12 championship? Utah or Oregon?
Doesn't matter. Pac-12 is self-imploding themselves. If there is not an undefeated team to come out of the Pac-12, they're not making the playoff this year.
So
it's going to have to be.
What if
UCLA is their only hope at this point.
So if UCLA goes undefeated, who gets booted?
Depends how close the Bama Georgia game is.
Also,
if
what
they
about
were
the
to play
Pac-12?
them. What was that?
They're not What about the Big 12? TCU is rolling.
TCU's the only. Yeah, TCU.
What if TCU ends undefeated and wins the Pac-12? Are you going to put TCU in the college football playoffs over like a one-loss Tennessee or Bama?
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can. You can't just neglect a undefeated Power 5 school though.
It's tough. I think you got to put TCU in, and then one of those 3. If there are 3 one-loss SEC teams, they're gonna have to just say, "Here's the best 2." Unless TCU and UCLA both suck.
They're not. If they both suck, well, first off, I agree with your point. I think if USC, unless they beat Utah by 1 million in the championship game, I don't think they have a shot at the college football playoffs with one loss.
USC is done.
I think any one-loss SEC team is over a one-loss USC team.
Easily.
But if UCLA goes undefeated, UCLA is dynamic, dude. They're a good team. That's interesting.
And then we've got Ole Miss. They're undefeated.
Ole Miss.
I really hope we get, if we beat Georgia and Ole Miss beats Bama. Oh, I want that rematch in the SEC title game. That'd be crazy. It's never gonna happen, but
Ole Miss, I don't know who Ole Miss plays, but if they run into Bama, Tennessee, Georgia, they're gonna get sunk.
I agree.
They're a fun team. They're exciting. Lane Kiffin is goated, but
well, at game day the other day, they put Lane Kiffin on the screen and everyone's like booing him. And then he says, and you know what? Let's both beat the state of Alabama today because they were playing Auburn. He says that and he's like, go Vols. And we're all like, it was so weird because
Lane
people
Kiffin's a
are like
dude. I don't know what to say.
screaming at him at the screen. And Pat McAfee turns around and he's like, I hear you guys. I hear you guys. While they're talking with him. It was really entertaining. But aside from the playoff real quick, can we talk about some of these surprise teams? Syracuse is undefeated. Illinois is ranked. Tulane
Illinois.
is ranked.
Yes, sir. Let's go, Illinois.
Who would have
Illinois
thought?
is good, dude. Their defense is disgusting.
I haven't watched an ounce of Illinois football this
Dude,
year. Are they
okay.
actually good, or have they just gotten an easy schedule?
But I'm gonna tell you a little story here. So I visited Illinois because if you guys don't know, I'm a senior in high school. So I went on a visit to Illinois, and I watched the first week when they played Wyoming. They were like 2-touchdown favorites. I thought Illinois was gonna be bad this year.
Mm-hmm.
They scored on like their second offensive play. They got up huge early. I think they won the game like 38-6 or something. It was a blowout. I'm watching the game and I'm like, dang, Illinois looks really good. Like their defense was shut down. Their offense was creative. It was fun. It was dynamic. They had They had a lot of good players. And I couldn't tell if they were really good
Or if it was Wyoming.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. They might be really good. I mean, their one loss was to Indiana.
Yeah,
and
that's
Indiana loss.
That's
they should not have
pathetic.
lost. There was a bad touchdown call that got called back, and they lost by 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, Illinois could easily be 7-0 right now in a top 10 team.
Michigan has a cakewalk till the Ohio State game, except for the Illinois game.
That Illinois-Michigan game is going to be crazy.
Do you think Illinois has any shot at Michigan?
I have a comparison for this. Do you remember a couple of years ago when Justin Fields was at Ohio State
Mm-hmm.
and Northwestern happened to be really good that year? And Northwestern played Ohio State in
the Big Ten championship.
Big Ten championship. I think Northwestern was up 10-6 at half. And as the game went on, Ohio State just slowly pulled away. It was like 12-10, then it was like 20-10, then it was 23-10. And I think that might have been the final score, 22-10 or something like that. But I think Illinois has a chance because Michigan's got a very young quarterback. He's dynamic, but he's very young.
JJ McCarthy.
He's inexperienced.
He's a baller.
He's a baller, but I think a good defense can rattle him. And I think if Illinois has any shot to win, if they can rattle JJ McCarthy and they can put enough together on offense, I think they can make it a game.
Okay.
Do I think they can win? No. But I think they can make it a game. And that's all I'd ask for as a semi-Illinois fan.
Okay, fair enough. And then on the flip side, Ohio State, I think they play Penn State, Maryland.
Ohio State's going to roll Penn State. They'll roll Maryland.
Yeah, Ohio State will roll over Penn State. But Maryland gave a threat to Michigan earlier in the season. They only lost by a touchdown, right?
Yeah, I think Ohio State's more dynamic than Michigan right now. I think
it's
Ohio
at
State
Maryland,
beats Maryland,
though.
I think Ohio State beats Maryland by 14+.
So you think they're easily both undefeated going into that game? Because that's what most people think. I would probably agree with it.
Yeah, I think the only game where that would be questioned is the Illinois game, and I think that should be a Michigan win.
Yeah, I mean, and then it comes down to the crazy end of the year. It's going to be a wild Thanksgiving or whenever rivalry weekend is these days.
I'm just excited for some like crappy team like Southern Florida to walk into Tennessee and upset them. It's gonna be good.
Hey, we play UT Martin this week. We can't just slack off.
Watch, you guys are gonna like squeak out a win. It's gonna be like a 2017 win over UT Martin. I can't wait for that.
No, I'm worried about the Georgia game.
What's the rest of Tennessee's schedule?
And then other than Georgia, I'm not at all worried about the Kentucky game. I think we're going to steamroll them personally.
Okay, wait, Jules, tell me the rest of Tennessee's schedule.
Tennessee's schedule, we play UT Martin. We play home against Kentucky. We play at Georgia, home against Missouri, at South Carolina, at Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Now, South Carolina.
No. As a non-extremely biased, delusional fan, I think you roll most of those teams. I think Missouri's a trap game.
I think South Carolina's the trap game
I don't think
because
South
they
Carolina is attractive. I
always
think
at the
Spencer
end of the
Rattler is
year.
not very good, and I don't think South Carolina is very good.
I think at the end of the year, every year, South Carolina has some kind of close game at the end of the season, except for when they play Clemson and just get bodied because it's their little South Carolina is their little brother. But if there was any trap game, I think it would be that South Carolina upset number 3 Georgia a few years ago. If you remember that game,
That game was awesome. I
that
remember
was
that game.
yeah, I remember watching that game. That one dude had like 3 picks, right?
No, the one dude on the South Carolina corner, like 6'3" dude, had 3 picks. South Carolina was on like their third string quarterback.
Yeah, that was an insane
That game was awesome. But I honestly, if it was on a neutral field, I like Tennessee over Georgia. I really do. Because
I
Georgia's
almost
offense,
do.
Stetson Bennett is not bad, but he's not as dynamic as these other quarterbacks. And I think
I'm only
Hendon Hooker will out. I think if they played, Hendon Hooker would outduel Stetson Bennett.
I agree with you. I'm only concerned about their tight ends because watching the Bama game, the only plays that worked for them, they had 2 plays. I mean, yes, they scored 49 points, but they scored 49 points. But the only 2 plays that had like 100% success rate was corner route to their big tight end and a swing pass to their running back Jahmyr Gibbs, who is crazy fast. Georgia has like 3 all-star tight ends.
Yeah, but Georgia
How on earth are we going to guard that?
I don't know, but I do know that Bryce Young is a lot better than Stetson Bennett.
That's
and
true.
I don't know.
It'll be an exciting game, that's for sure. The tickets are $700, so I don't think I'm able to go, unfortunately.
I don't think it'll be a 52-49 game. I think it'll be like a 30-24 game, but I think it'll be a good game.
Well, given that it's not neutral site, you have Georgia then?
I can't make a pick on that right now.
Oh, well then we'll get to that in a few weeks. We still have to play Kentucky and UT Martin, so
I'm getting like 19-20 win against UT Martin, then you just steamroll Kentucky because you're all pissed.
We'll see about that. All right, is there anything else you've got for this week before we wrap it up?
Do we have any fan questions?
And close the show. Do you have any fan questions?
No, do you?
No, I don't. We didn't put out fan questions this week. We can do that next week.
Well, then I don't think there's anything else.
Sweet. All right, then that's what we're going to roll with. Hope you all had a good time watching. This is Neutral Zone Reaction. I'm Jules. That's Brady. He's Kentucky. Francesco thinks Kentucky's a trap game.
Kentucky's not a trap game.
I think Kentucky is not ready for us. If Bama wasn't ready for us, I don't see Kentucky being ready for us.
Let me explain to you why Kentucky's not a trap game. There's 2 reasons. Number 1, you play UT Martin this week. I don't know anything about UT Martin except the fact that they're probably not very good. That means you guys are going to be looking ahead to Kentucky because you're not going to look 3 weeks ahead of Georgia. That's stupid. That's something Tennessee would do, but that's stupid. I have to take my shots when I can. But that's stupid.
Brady's like, yeah, guys, UT Martin is the trap game here.
Okay, that was sarcasm. Come on. You guys are going to roll UT Martin.
Hey, with your delusional takes, I never know when it's sarcasm.
Okay, delusional is my description of you. Not important. Kentucky has, you guys have an extra week to somewhat prepare for Kentucky. And B, Kentucky has a NFL quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will Levis. That makes a threat. That means Tennessee is not going to take this lightly. And that means that it's not a trap game. Trap games are where the team you don't expect to be good. When a team's got an NFL quarterback, potential top 10 pick, people are saying, you don't take that lightly.
Oh, I agree.
You focus up. And that's why
South Carolina is the trap game. But I don't know. We'll have to beat Kentucky to even get there. Bet?
What was that? Is Francesco the one that can't bet?
Yes, he's the one who loses all his bets.
That explains it. Okay.
Nothing against Francesco. We're gonna wrap
I met you like twice. You're awesome, but yeah, don't bet.
We will see you all later. Thanks for sticking around. If you're still here, we appreciate it, and peace out. See you all later.